What's going on, guys? Let me get this tweet out real quick, and then we will go over some things, get some more people in here before we get going with the game-by-game stuff, and then I'll answer some questions at the end. All right. Okay. What's going on, guys? Music's a vibe. I know, man. I've been using this for a while. The same track list. Non-copyright. But the plan for this video, this live stream, there's a lot of news that has come out since my video this morning. So we're going to go game by game, go over in a quick fashion, and go over the most recent news because we have seen a lot. And then at the very end, probably like the last 10-15 minutes, we will end up going through the questions that you guys may have. Jabari's starting. Is he starting over center or over Cantor at center? That's pretty funny. That doesn't really concern me about Cantor. I was really only expecting Cantor to play 22-24 minutes regardless. I'm already playing Andre Drummond. You should as well. And, you can play Alperen Sengun as well if you guys want another center. 4,300. I wish there was some better small forwards on this slate. I'm ending up on a lot more of these $7,000 guys like Jimmy Butler and DeMar DeRozan than these cheaper guys like Sterling Brown. All right, guys, let's go over this slate. Let me pull up my game notes. Okay. So we will start off with the Boston Celtics. Thank you so much for subscribing. So Peyton Pritchard, Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, Al Horford were already ruled out of this game. Robert Williams was recently ruled out. So looks like Jabari Parker is grabbing the start for him. And I'm really focusing on Jason Tatum and Dennis Schroeder. These two guys are some of my favorite plays on the entire slate. Unfortunately, Jason Tatum isn't on the FanDuel slate because that slate starts 30 minutes later than usual. And then I think Enes Kanter is a pretty good play at 4,500. He does take up a center spot, which we're pretty much all of us are playing Andre Drummond today. They do expect Drummond to play pretty extensively, and so he eats up another center spot / utility. And so I don't mind him. I still think he's a good play. And then Jabari Parker at 4,300. It hasn't been his offensive game that has been his problem in the NBA. It's his defensive reasoning. But if Jabari Parker is going to get decent minutes, I guess he's in play. But again, I said it at the beginning of my video earlier. I think you need to be playing these guys that you absolutely love. Like, there's no concerns with them because there are a ton of good spots today. And so I'm really just focusing on Jason Tatum and Dennis Schroeder from the Boston Celtics. The Miami Heat are relatively healthy today, outside of Victor Oladipo and some of the deeper bench guys like Marcus Garrett. But they are treating this game like a dress rehearsal. So guys like Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, Kyle Lowry squarely in play. Jimmy Butler more so just because he is at a very, very weak small forward position tonight. I wish Jason Tatum was small forward eligible. I think he should be. And Kevin Porter Jr. had small forward eligibility at one point this preseason. But really just focusing on Jimmy Butler from this team. Move to the Cleveland Cavaliers versus the Indiana Pacers. Pretty big news with the Cavaliers. So we got it early in the day. Shout out Matt for finding it. So they are playing their starters / role players just 6 to 8 minutes in this game. So everybody is out of play on this Cleveland Cavaliers team. They're playing them one stint in the first quarter, and that is the extent of it. Thank you so much for subscribing. If you guys enjoy this video, make sure to like and subscribe. So pretty much everybody is out of play on this Cleveland Cavaliers team, and it pays to be in the Discord on PrizePicks. For like 2 hours, they had the starters on this Cavs team at like 28 fantasy points, and we just slammed the under. Should be a good night for us tonight. over there on Prize Picks. Move over to the Indiana Pacers. They are going to be without Caris LeVert, Malcolm Brogdon, TJ Warren, Justin Holiday, and Keelan Martin. And now Jeremy Lamb is out of this game as well. So Domantas Sabonis, one of my favorite spend-up options on the slate. Chris Duarte played 36 minutes last game, and now there's no Jeremy Lamb. And they're playing this Z squad from the Cleveland Cavaliers tonight. Absolutely love Chris Duarte today. TJ McConnell, I think, is a great play as well. We played him last time out. Go back to last year without Malcolm Brogdon on the core, as well as Caris LeVert and TJ Warren in 871 minutes. He had a 39.6 assist percentage, averaging 1.19 fantasy points per minute. He ended up playing 28 minutes last time out. And he played deep into the fourth quarter. If we see a similar situation, TJ McConnell is going to be low owned, and he is in a very good spot, but I definitely prefer Chris Duarte now for just $300 more with no Jeremy Lamb. And with him being a rookie, I expect him to extend his minutes further into this game. Over to the Philadelphia 76ers, Joel Embiid, Tobias Harris, Ben Simmons, Shake Milton are all out in this game. The starting lineup has already come out, and I'm really just focusing on Andre Drummond. One of their beat reporters, shout out Kevin, said that he expects to see a lot of Andre Drummond and a lot of the deeper bench guys. So Andre Drummond, Tyrese Maxey in the starting lineup. I love both of these guys. I'm locking in Andre Drummond. And then off of the bench, Paul Reed. He played 28 minutes last time out. I believe he played 22 minutes in the first game that Joel Embiid missed. I'm expecting him to play, 26, 28 minutes. And you go back to last year, with no Joel Embiid, Tobias Harris, Ben Simmons, and Shake Milton, Paul Reed averaged 1.31 fantasy points per minute. And so if we are going to see a good bit of Paul Reed in this game, and Paul Reed doesn't have to play just the 5. He's been playing next to Andre Drummond in these third and fourth quarters. At 4,500, Paul Reed, one of my favorite value plays on the slate, and I think he's going severely overlooked. This Detroit Pistons team, I'm pretty much not interested in anybody. Cade Cunningham is out, so is Sadiq Bey and Killian Hayes. We should see Josh Jackson and Frank Jackson and Saban Lee grab the starts again, but they are priced in a range where there's much better plays in that range, so I'm not really playing anybody on this Detroit Pistons team. The Washington Wizards, I was uncertain if Bradley Beal was going to be allowed to play in this game, considering it was in New York City in Madison Square Garden, because he is unvaccinated. But it looks like traveling players do not have to be vaccinated to play in these games. And there was already a picture earlier today of him inside the court warming up. So looks like he's going to give it a go today. I think he's one of the better spend-up options, more so on FanDuel than DraftKings. And then the rest of this team, I think they priced them up just way too much, because we were all over them in their last game, and with their minutes, I think they're relatively secure, but I think they're priced up a bit too much. The New York Knicks, so these guys are probably going to play like 30 plus minutes tonight. Tom Thibodeau just does that. So guys like Julius Randle probably my favorite spend up option outside of Jason Tatum, because I know he's going to play 30 plus minutes in this game. Kemba Walker is going to play in this game after resting last time out. That makes Derrick Rose not in play. Looks like Mitchell Robinson is going to play in this game and get his feet wet, and that's enough to take me off of guys like Taj Gibson and Jericho Sims. And then really honestly on the rest of this team, I don't mind RJ Barrett on FanDuel. Don't like him as much on DraftKings. And then the rest of this team, I think even though that they're playing such big minutes, the usage is really condensed with Julius Randle out there. Okay, making sure we didn't get any news while I was in that. Let's finish these games. Memphis Grizzlies versus the Chicago Bulls. The Memphis Grizzlies, after resting all of their players for the second time in the preseason, it looks like they are all going to be active today, and they are set to play, I'm assuming 28 to 30 minutes. I think they treat this game as a dress rehearsal. It's kind of what we saw after their last game where they rested everybody. I think we see a similar situation here, especially against a Chicago Bulls team who are going to treat this as a dress rehearsal as well. So Ja Morant, 8,100. He's going to be very low owned. This is probably going to be one of the lowest owned studs on the slate. And, go back to last year without Jonas Valanciunas and Dylan Brooks on the court, which Dylan Brooks is also out again. He hasn't played yet in the preseason. Valanciunas no longer with the team. Ja Morant last year with those guys off the court in 404 minutes, 1.31 fantasy points per minute. Jaren Jackson Jr., 1.28 fantasy points per minute. I think both these guys are squarely in play on this slate against the Chicago Bulls. I know the Bulls are a tough defensive matchup, but with the minutes given, I think that they are definitely viable on this slate. The Chicago Bulls, like I just mentioned, are going to treat this game like a dress rehearsal. We knew this before the preseason even began because Billy Donovan mentioned that they only have 4 games to play around with, and so they want to get everybody acclimated to playing together, and they're going to play pretty big minutes, and they played 30-plus minutes last time out, and I think we see a similar situation. Now we see Patrick Williams is returning. I expect him to join the starting lineup, but he has been out since the Summer League. And so I think that they bring him along slowly, but he is one of my favorite GPP small forward plays because if we see him play, 22, 24 minutes, which I would not be the least bit surprised if we saw that happen today, at 4,200, he'd be one of the best small forward plays on the slate. But that's not saying much considering how bad that position is. But up top, Vucevic, Ball, Levine, DeRozan, if you're playing them, yeah, they're fine. I think you could play 2-3 of them on FanDuel. They are all definitely in play given the minutes. They are the most secure minutes on the entire slate. And then Alex Caruso played 26 minutes last time out. I think he plays a similar amount of minutes, 5,400. More of like a secondary play for me with such good plays in that price range at the guard spot. Move over to the Dallas Mavericks versus the Milwaukee Bucks. Luka Doncic, Kristaps Porzingis, Reggie Bullock, Tim Hardaway Jr., Tyrell Terry are all out in this game. It's really only Jalen Brunson that I'm interested in on this team. Go back to last year. With all these guys off of the court, specifically Luka Doncic and Kristaps Porzingis, you get 588 minutes, a 25.1% usage rating, 28.6 assist percentage, while averaging 1.05 fantasy points per minute. I'm expecting him to play mid-20s minutes into the third quarter. And then Trey Burke, I'm sure he's going to play in this game, but, he's been in and out of the lineup altogether because he is unvaccinated, and, I think the coaches are kind of spiteful because they made a point of it for the team to be 100% vaccinated, and he's the only guy who has yet to do it. But with him being so shorthanded today, I'm sure he's going to get some minutes, and he does carry some upside, but I'm not really getting to any of him tonight. The Milwaukee Bucks, Chris Middleton went from questionable to doubtful now. They're obviously without Dante DiVincenzo, Bobby Portis already, as well as Semi Ojeleye. Rodney Hood should miss this game as well. Up top, Giannis Antetokounmpo. If he does play, I think he plays into the third quarter. We saw in previous preseasons, when he does play, he typically plays into the third quarter. He is the best fantasy player in the NBA. So especially without Chris Middleton in this game, if he does play, he's an absolute lock for me. He's not a lock, but he's one of the best plays on the slate. I think you should be playing him on FanDuel regardless, but there is a good chance that they rest him and Drew Holiday today, given that Middleton is already ruled out, but that is something we are going to have to monitor throughout the day, and I'll let you guys know in the Discord and Patreon link down below. That Discord is completely free. You can make a bunch of smart decisions just by being in that chat. 2 games left. The Houston Rockets versus the San Antonio Spurs. The Houston Rockets are going to be without Eric Gordon and Daniel Tice. No Daniel Tice means Alperen Sengun is going to grab the start today. In the Summer League, he averaged 25 minutes per game. And, he's been playing about 18 minutes, and that was with him playing behind Daniel Tice. And also one of the games he was in foul trouble. So without Daniel Tice completely in this game, I'm expecting him to play, 24 minutes in this game. And he is a very, very high per minute producer, $5,400. I absolutely love Alperen Sengun today. And, you could play him and Andre Drummond, and I would feel good about your lineups. When he is out there on the court, he is an absolute monster. Kevin Porter Jr., Jalen Green, Christian Wood, I expect all these guys to play the upper range of the 20 minutes tonight. All definitely in play. I love Kevin Porter Jr. over on FanDuel, but if you have Kevin Porter Jr., Jalen Green, Christian Wood, I like all 3 of those guys as well, but really focusing in on Alperen Sengun. The San Antonio Spurs, I'm not really interested in anybody on this team unless we get news that one of these players is going to end up resting. Greg Popovich mentioned a couple days ago or a couple games ago rather, that he would like to rest a couple guys every now and then in these preseason games. And so if we get a guy like Derek White out, that makes DeJounte Murray more interesting. But yeah, I'm not really focused on anybody from the Spurs team. Move over to the Portland Trailblazers versus the Golden State Warriors, which starts an hour and a half after the second to last games. The Trailblazers are going to be without Damian Lillard, Anthony Simmons, Nasir Little, Tony Snell, Cody Zeller. So we did get a report from one of the beat writers with 40,000 followers from the Portland Trailblazers that the starters are going to play about half. Not quite sure what that means. If there is any chance that these guys are going to play only a half, I'm just going to go ahead and avoid them, especially when I'm talking about CJ McCollum and Yusuf Nurkic. With there being so many good plays on the slate, they are not must plays by any means. There's 16 teams on this slate, and many teams that I know are going to play deep into the third and fourth quarters, so I'm going to be avoiding them today. They are fine GPP plays to me. Dennis Smith Jr. is going to grab the start in this game. He played 24 minutes last game, and that was with Damian Lillard active. Now Lillard is out. Obviously, Anthony Simmons is out as well, so he should get a lot of minutes. And if CJ McCollum only plays one half, Dennis Smith Jr. could play upwards of 30 minutes in this game. And one of my favorite GPP plays on the slate, if you guys are over on Underdog, I got the over 11.5 points. That has already risen to 13.5 points. Move over to the last team of the Golden State Warriors. I'm sure I missed some news while I've been talking. I haven't been looking, but we have 14 minutes left. We'll get through this game, and then I will look at that and then answer some questions. So James Wiseman, Jonathan Kuminga are questionable. Steph Curry and Draymond Green rested last game. In previous years, we have seen them play 30 minutes in the Warriors starts for the Warriors starters in their finale games. And Steph Curry, the way that the rotation works for him is he plays the entire first and third quarters, so all 12 of those minutes. And in the second quarter, he typically plays 6 minutes. And in the fourth quarter, it's all dependent on what the score of the game is. Obviously, if they're getting blown out or something, or it's a really close game, he'll come in sooner or later. But for the sake of this game, I'm expecting him to play all 12 first quarter minutes, play 6 minutes in the second quarter. That's 18 minutes. And with this being their finale, I'm expecting him to get his full third quarter stint. And so that would mean he would be playing 30 minutes on this slate. So 30 minutes of Steph Curry. I absolutely love him tonight. One of my favorite plays on the slate. I'm locking him in on FanDuel, and I currently have him in my own Draftkings lineup. I think he's one of the best plays on the entire slate, especially when we are talking about these spend ups. All right, guys, if you guys are in here, enjoyed that breakdown, I'm going to get to a bunch of questions right here. Make sure to like, subscribe, would really, really appreciate it. Matt just told me to check DM, so I'm sure we got some news. 2 messages from Matt. Pat Williams will likely play 18 to 24 minutes in 6-minute segments as he returns from ankle injury tonight. So yeah, that pretty much means 24 minutes. So we're going to see 24 minutes from Patrick Williams tonight. I think he is a great play. When you're talking about the cheap small forward plays with Sterling Brown and Jayshawn Tate, I much prefer Pat Williams to them. And it looks like Giannis Antetokounmpo is getting warmed up in the Bucks game. Okay, thank you, Matt. So yeah, I think Patrick Williams is squarely in play. I'm going to make sure and update that for you Patreon people. No, not on Boban today. Jordan Poole under 18.5 points. I mean, that is a pretty lofty number. I like Jordan Poole a lot coming into this year. But yeah, is Duarte good for tonight? Yeah, Duarte is a great play. Patrick Williams, Jabari, or Reed, pick 2. It's going to be Patrick Williams and Paul Reed for me. Spurs players are all playing tonight. Yeah, I mean, so I'm not really on any of those guys as well. What's going on, D-Gas? Yeah, let's get it tonight. Sengun or Bam? I'm going to take the savings for Bam, or with Sengun. Yeah, if you have any questions, make sure to drop them in here. Guys, I'm trying to get to, what am I trying to get to? So guys, I'm at 15 subscribers right now. This is my live subscriber count. I'm trying to get to 20 before the end of the stream. It's been a tough outing for me. Is Duarte in play tonight? Absolutely. Sabonis or Tatum? Tatum. I think Tatum's minutes are much more secure. We already got word from the Boston Celtics reporter that they should play 30 plus minutes in this game, and they are very, very thin. Only him and Dennis Schroeder on the Celtics starting lineup are shot creators. So I'm expecting a lot of output from him plus big minutes. Lowry play mid-20s. I'm expecting it. The Miami Heat are going to be using this game as a dress rehearsal. So I'm expecting Lowry, Butler, Bam Adebayo to play into the third quarter. Not sure if they get into the fourth quarter. Spoelstra is typically pretty stingy with the minutes. Other starters, going to way back. But I do think they probably get to mid-20s minutes today. Yeah, Cavs. Yeah, I already went over that. The Cavs are only playing one stint. 5.7K util for Cash, Green, Sengun, or TJ. Ooh, man, I probably take, if you're playing Cash, I'd probably go with Jalen Green there because of the minutes and the role. But for pure upside, I would go with Sengun. Update: Curry, Duarte, Butler, Tatum, Sengun, Schroeder, Reed, Drummond. Love it, run it. Small forward for 6,200. Yeah, small forward is really weak. I would either try to find the 800 to get up to DeMar DeRozan or Jimmy Butler, or go down to Patrick Williams. Patrick, thank you so much for subscribing. Brunson or KBJ? KBJ. Giannis or KBJ at small forward on FanDuel? Giannis. Caruso, Sengun, or Draymond? Sengun. Patrick Williams or Paul Reed? Paul Reed. Are you playing Maxey? I currently don't have him in my lineup, but he is an A-tier play on my sheet. I think he's fine. If you guys want to know exactly what I'm playing tonight, you guys can join my Patreon. That is linked down below. Jeremy, thank you guys so much for these subs. Is 4 out of 20 lineups with Paul Reed too much or not enough? Man, I would try to get a little bit more, I think. I would want to be above the field with ownership on him. Patrick Williams or Reed? DK, Reed. Bam, Curry, or Sengun? Jalen Green. I'm going to go with Sengun and... No. I'm going to go with Bam. Wait, I'm assuming you're talking about Seth Curry. So I'm going to go with Sengun and Jalen Green. Kyle Anderson, he was more in play earlier, but with so many good plays on the slate, I'm not playing him. What's going on, Rhythm? Vooch or Draymond on FanDuel? Vooch. Best FanDuel shooting guard, Bradley Beal. Vooch minutes, Patreon. Yeah, so Vooch should play around 30 minutes tonight. Best forward, 6,400. Yeah, it's tough right there. I mean, I would probably try to rebuild a little bit. Lamar Stevens at small forward, the minimum with starters playing one stint. Yeah, I mean, I suppose he is in play to some extent, but I really just don't know where the minutes are going at all, even with the backups of the Cavs. Sengun or Sabonis, Curry or Morant. Curry. Late to the party, glad I found your channel. Giannis minutes. If Giannis plays, I believe that he plays into the third quarter. We don't have definitive word of that, but it looks like he's warming up and going to play. Shooting guard, 5,200 and below. Tyrese Maxey for sure. Lowry a lock. Lowry not a lock. Good play though. Did you mention Jackson Jr. Just a second ago? Yeah, I mean Jackson Jr. He averaged almost 1.3 fantasy points per minute last year without Jonas Valanciunas and Dylan Brooks on the court. I'm expecting him to play between 26 and 30 minutes tonight. He is in play. So yeah, I guess if you guys are looking for a forward under 6,400, I guess Jaren Jackson would probably be the guy in that spot. Duarte or Porter on FanDuel. Porter. John Morant or Curry. Randall or Sabonis. Randall had to take down the $33 on FanDuel last night. Good stuff. Yeah, let's get him, man. Good shit. Favorite cheap guard? Dennis Schroeder for sure. Dennis Schroeder. KBJ, Morant, or Beal? I'm going to go with... Man, I'm going to go with Morant there. Maxey, not a shooting guard on DK. Is he not shooting guard eligible? Oh, whoops. You're right. Shooting guard, 5,200. I got you, man. I mean, it's tough right here. Like, I'm not really interested in any of these guys. Dennis Schroeder, but I'm assuming you already have him. I guess he's point guard anyway. Yeah, I mean, it's gross. I would probably go to Derrick Rose and hopefully he does well in like 20, 21 minutes. Levine, yay or nay? He's great. Made an update on the Patreon, guys, if you guys want to check that out. 4,200 utility. I have Williams already. Yeah, I mean, that's weak. I'd probably go with Jayshawn Tate there. Jayshawn Tate should grab the start again with no Eric Gordon, no Daniel Tice. Only played just over 20 minutes last game. I'm expecting him to play mid-20s here. Who scores the most fantasy points tonight? Probably Giannis, assuming that he gives it a go. But I also like Curry. Bam or Sabonis, second lineup, McConnell, Duarte, Williams, Randall, Drummond, DSJ, Tatum, and Sengun. Williams. I'm like blanking real hard right now with Williams. Are you talking? Oh, Patrick Williams. Yeah, I like that lineup. Sorry. Christian Wood, a good play on FanDuel. I mean, the forward and power forward and center spot is so strong on FanDuel. I just really can't get to Christian Wood there. Rank the Miami Heat guys. It's probably Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, then Kyle Lowry, and then I'm not really considering anybody else. Cantor maybe. Yeah, Cantor is a strong play. Cantor is still a strong play, and his ownership is going to dip significantly with Jabari Parker getting the start over him. But it didn't really matter to me. All that matters is that Enes Kanter gets to 22, 24 minutes, and then he can pay off that price tag. But again, I prefer Sengun to him. I think Sengun's role is safer, and I think he has higher upside. I think Sengun plays like 24 minutes tonight, which is more than enough. Again, guys, if you guys want to know exactly what I'm doing, you can join my Patreon down below. That includes the regular season as well. Still on Drummond. Yeah, Drummond is a must play for me. Did you say Beal today on FanDuel? Yeah, Beal is who I'm playing with. Is Hero coming off the bench? Yeah, he's going to be the sixth man for the Miami Heat this year. What about Josh Richardson? No, I'm not on Josh Richardson. Yeah, I mean, I know the Celtics are thin, and especially at guard. Maybe he could run some backup point. But, man, it's Josh Richardson is running real thin. There's a lot of good plays on this side. I don't think you need to dig down there. DeMar or Butler. So, my case with DeMar versus Butler. So, DeMar DeRozan, is going to play about 30 minutes. His role is not as big as Butler's, but the minutes are definitely more secure. Better matchup for DeMar as well. I think he's safer in cash games. Jimmy Butler, I think, possesses a lot more upside, and I think Butler probably plays 26 to 28 minutes tonight. So that's my take on DeMar versus Jimmy Butler, because I know a lot of you guys are going to end up on a lineup around there. Duarte or KPJ. I'm going to go with KPJ there, but it is close. Curry, Butler, Tatum, Drummond, Schroeder, Duarte, Reed, Sengun. Is that good? Yeah, you guys are making some sick lineups tonight. Sick lineups. Lowry or Sengun, best forward under 7K. Yeah, I don't know if there is any any viable ones. I mean, Jaren Jackson Jr. is not too bad. Yeah, it's probably Jaren Jackson Jr. Oh, wait, you said 7,000? It is, yeah, so it's probably DeMar and Jimmy Butler. Small forward, 4.5K. It's going to be Patrick Williams for me. Sabonis or Giannis, Morant or Randall, Brunson, McConnell or Lowry. That's tough. It's probably McConnell for me. Boban didn't play. No, I'm not playing Boban today. His minutes really haven't opened all that much with the guys that are out tonight. Patrick Williams to see 18 to 20 minutes. So I still think that if he's playing, if they said that they want to play him in 6-minute stints. That means that, if he plays 3 quarters, that's 18. And I know the starters are going to play into the 4th quarter. So I think we see a minimum of 18 and upwards of 24. I think it's more likely we see closer to 24 minutes for Pat. Sabonis or Tatum. Tatum for me. Tatum's like my favorite spin up point per dollar. Dude, white card, you going crazy with the Heps. Best captain for WNBA Showdown. Hell if I know. Williams and Green or Butler and Reed? Butler and Reed for sure. You think Duarte will be over 50%? And if so, can you pivot to Jalen Green without losing your mind? Yeah, I think Duarte's minutes are very secure. So were Jalen Green's, but Duarte played 36 minutes last time out, and now Jeremy Lamb is out. So we will probably see something similar to that. We could. Obviously, it's not a for sure thing. You could pivot. But I'd probably just go ahead and play Duarte and get different elsewhere. Morant or Vucevic, Morant, Butler or McCollum, Butler, Randall or Sabonis, Randall, Schroeder, Brunson, Butler, Tatum, Sengun, Steph, Paul, Reed, KBJ, run it, man. Zaire Williams, no. With the team completely healthy for the Grizzlies this game, I'm not on these backup guys like we were the other day. 30 seconds till lock. Make sure to lock in your lineups, guys. Beal playing tonight at New York. Yeah, so he is unvaccinated, but traveling players do not have to be vaccinated to play in Madison Square Garden. We already saw pictures of him in the stadium earlier. All right, guys. We are coming down to lock. Still at 15 subs. If you guys could subscribe, like this video, it helps me out more than you could imagine. The #1 way of supporting me. Duarte or Corkman's? Duarte for sure. David Davidson's son? Spud Davidson? Shit. Your favorite FanDuel pivot in our line? Yeah, it's going to be Duarte over Kevin Porter, Steph. All right, guys. I will be here. The next time I be here, I guess, it will be the regular season, Tuesday, October 19th. I will have a video posted out. I'm thinking about doing some live streams of some NBA fantasy drafts. So if you guys are interested in joining that, make sure to let me know because I think that'd be a pretty fun thing to do. We can run through some underdog best ball drafts. All join these same drafts, draft with each other, and you know, just to kill some time until we get the regular season on Tuesday. I will have videos out every single day, live streams out 30 minutes before lock every single day. Appreciate you guys being here. Best of luck today, guys.